In fact, it's been a very long gap that we all have met. I hope you have done fabulously well in your annual examination. And in these difficult days during lockdown, I think we are forced to stay back at home to keep ourselves safe. And as a venture towards this particular approach, hereby we are planning to begin this particular session wherein we will be solving some typical varieties of problems, say 5 problems per day, and these problems will be concentrating majorly on entrance exams. And these entrance exam questions will be a bit typical varieties that we are going to solve. And as a matter of fact, this particular lecture video what I am sending today, this will contain uh, five interesting kind of questions on Newton's laws of motion. And hereby I suggest you guys kindly go through this video, then you opine whether this could be carried further so that we can solve more typical varieties of questions on entrance exams, like NEET, may it be JEE, may it be KCET, or any sort of entrance exam you are planning to take up with. So I suggest each one of you once again to go through this video and kindly give us your opinion regarding the continuity of such varieties of exercises. Fine. So today I will be beginning with, as I was mentioning earlier, today I'll be beginning with Newton's laws of motion, and in this particular part I'll be considering or concentrating on some five most interesting questions, and the difficult levels of each of these questions will keep on increasing. And as a matter of fact, in my next session I'll cover few more interesting problems on laws of motion. In fact, some of you had contacted me personally requesting me to conduct a session on Newton's laws of motion. So with reference to that particular approach, I'm beginning with this converging conceptual uh, nature of a session on Newton's laws of motion. I suppose we will have a win-win situation. Let us move ahead to our first situation here, first problem. So this is the first question which I am planning to consider. If we just go through this question, uh, the problem reads like this. Two blocks are connected by string as shown in the diagram. The upper block is hung by another string. A force F applied on the upper string produces an acceleration of 2 meter per second square in the upward direction in both the blocks. If T and T dash be the tensions in the two parts of the string, then now we should find out the values of T and T dash in this particular problem. And since, as you notice here, the masses have been given to us as a 2 kg mass and a 4 kg mass which has been given to us, and with reference to these 2 kg and 4 kg masses, or a system of 2 and 4 kg masses, we are going to find the values of these tensions like T and T dash. Okay, so we should find the values of T and T dash in this problem, and the approach of this problem is very simple, my friends. The approach I will just narrate it to you. Fine. Now let's move on to the solution of this, and the options are given as below. You all can take a note of these options. Now let us move to the solution of this problem. Now, as we notice here, I'll be considering initially the free body diagram of the blocks. So if you just take a look at free body diagram of 2 kg mass, as you can notice here, this 2 kg mass contains 20 Newton. That means I am considering acceleration due to gravity, that is a small g. I am taking it to be 10 meter per second. So if you take the g as a 10 meter per second here, so according to this 10 meter per second value, mass into acceleration due to gravity, that will give me the weight, and this weight is obviously 2 into 10, that will be 20 Newton, and this 20 Newton is directed downward. As you can notice here, 20 Newton is directed downward, and then 4 Newton is the force, that is inertial force. So obviously here, since we are in Newton's laws of motion, we should understand this concept that in order to find the force, I should make use of a formula F is equal to ma, that is Newton's second law. So accordingly, what is the mass here? Mass is 2 kg, and what is the acceleration given to us? It is given as 2 meter per second square. So if we just multiply these two, then we will be obtaining what? 4 Newton as the force. So this is the inertial force that is acting, and gravitational force is 20 Newton, that we have already found out. So hence, how did we obtain 4 Newton here? It is 2 kg mass multiplied by, here I will show you that for 2 kg mass, the free body diagram, and along with that for 2 kg mass, net force will be equal to what? F1. Okay. So F1 can be found out by using 2 kg into 2 meter per second square. That should give me what? 4 Newton. Okay, so this 4 Newton force is obviously acting in the upward direction, because this 2 kg mass and 4 kg mass, both of them are directed upward. So hence I am showing this 4 Newton force in the upward direction. Okay, I hope this is clear to you. Now accordingly, I can very easily say that net force that is acting on block of mass 2 kg, that will be what? F1, and F1 will be equal to T minus T dash. As you can notice here, T is upward and T dash is downward. So obviously it should be T minus T dash here, as you can notice, and minus 20 is acting downward. And remember, T minus T dash will become equal to 24. Why? Because F1 is 4 Newton, that we have already understood. Okay, so if we just combine and then solve, then we'll obtain the value of what? T minus T dash. T minus T dash will be equal to 24. Fine. So now let us go to the second block now. In the second block, that is 4 kg mass, the free body diagram is just similar to what we have noticed. Okay, and here I am considering for 4 kg block the tension T dash. Now this tension T dash, which was acting downward for 2 kg mass, here it will be acting upward for 4 kg mass, obviously, right? Okay, so accordingly we are obtaining the tension T dash in the upward direction, and accordingly the gravitational force due to that mass of the block, okay, and acceleration due to gravity, that will be 40 Newton, because 4 into 10, that will be equal to 40 Newton. What about inertial mass? It is 8 Newton, because 4 into 2 meter per second square, that should give me what? 8 Newton. So obviously here we are obtaining both the forces here. Gravitational force has been found out, and inertial force has been found out here. So accordingly we can comfortably say that F2 will become equal to T minus T dash minus 20. That will give me again what? T minus T dash is equal to 28. Now friends, if you solve equations 1 and 2, then obviously we can obtain the values of T dash and T. T dash will work out to be around 47.23 Newton and T works out to be around 70.8 Newton. Okay, so hence our right choice is option A here. I hope this particular solution is clear to you. So I've given a very simple approach to this particular problem. Okay, so remember, in a connected system, always try to uh, include gravitational mass as well as inertial gravitational force as well as inertial force. Okay, then take the combination of those two. That will become a dead easy solution. I suppose this is clear. Now let us move ahead to the next question. And this particular question is a simpleton again. This is one of the most frequently asked variety of question that we can see in the entrance exam case. Okay, so let us take a look at the statement of the problem. A block is kept on a frictionless inclined surface with angle of inclination alpha. The incline is given an acceleration a to keep the block stationary. Then a is equal to. So we should find the value of acceleration here. If you just notice here, the diagram is given to you. So again, we need to draw the free body diagram, but I will tell you the most easy approach of solving this problem. Okay, so we can draw the free body diagram, but directly we will consider only the forces that are required to solve this problem. Okay, now let's take a look at the solution to this problem. So first and foremost thing, again we'll go with a free body diagram of the given inclined plane. If you just see here, we are showing a few things here. As you can see, mg is vertically downward as it is shown here, and mg's, and if we just draw a particular normal line to this diagram, then the angle between normal and mg, that will be equal to what? Alpha here, correct? So accordingly I can very easily calculate the component of mg here. So hence component of mg has been shown here as mg sine alpha, so which has been shown as the component along the plane. Fine. So as you can notice here, the direction of the mg sine alpha is parallel to the inclined plane. So hence we will take it to be as what? The component of mg along the plane. And accordingly, since acceleration a is given to us in this way, acceleration a is given to us in this direction. So accordingly, I can very easily see that the block has to be restrained, or block has to be maintained back at this position only, correct? So in order to maintain it in this position, there must be an opposing force, and this opposing force I take it as what? M into A. This is the Newtonian force, or force, inertial force we can say, Newtonian force or inertial force. And this Newtonian force I am taking it as what? M into A only. Why? Because acceleration is A here, and inclined plane is given an acceleration of A. That clearly indicates that the acceleration to the block is also what? A only. So hence, what is the mass of the block? It is m. So hence we will take its acceleration to be what? M into A. M into A as the force. Okay, by considering all these things. Then as you can see here, there is an angle alpha between MA and inclined plane. So obviously that angle alpha I am considering, and accordingly I am considering what? I am going to consider the component of MA along the plane again. See, this is the best method. So consider the component of that inertial force along the plane. So that force is nothing but what? Ma cos alpha, as you can notice here. And this Ma cos alpha will be in the opposite direction to mg sin alpha, and this happens to be the crust of this problem. Okay, so hence now let's go ahead and take a look at the solution. Let us solve it now. it's like a cakewalk now. So force F is equal to ma is applied in order to avoid slipping of the block, as I was mentioning earlier. So accordingly, component of F along the inclined plane I am taking to be F cos alpha, and here we know that for the block to remain stationary, this force F must be equal to mg sin alpha. So F equal to mg sin alpha is equilibrium. Correct? It is the condition of equilibrium. So in order to maintain the block in the same position, in this very position, I must take both the forces to be equal. Then only that block will remain stationary. So accordingly, what I am doing here, I am considering F is equal to mg sin alpha, and due to that reason we can very easily write ma cos alpha is equal to mg sin alpha, and thus we'll get A is equal to g sin alpha by cos alpha, which is nothing but the acceleration A is equal to g tan alpha. Fine. I hope this approach is clear. Do you find it to be most easy approach? Fine. So now let's go ahead with the next part, and before I move further, remind to you, option B is our right choice. Fine. Okay. So hence now let's move on to the next situation here, that is next problem. I hope these two questions are clear. Any doubts or queries, kindly contact me back and post me the doubts. Okay, so now let's move on to the next set of problems. So thank you all my students, and I will come back with many of such video lectures. Okay, see you all guys soon. Thank you very much. Have a pleasant study hour, and practice once again all these questions thoroughly. Okay, I'll be back soon. Thank you.